It's weekend 9 for the British Touring Car Championship, and we head to Silverstone. So we've gone through the majority of the calendar once again then. This is the last time we will visit a track for the first time this year. Following the 3 races here, we go over to the season finale at Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit as well in 2 weeks' time. And now, after round 25 then and round 26, Ash Sutton's lead in the championship has been reduced to just 2 points as well. Ash Sutton 328, Jake Hill on 326. Tom Ingram is 11 points back on 317. Watch out for Colin Turkington. He starts 14th in this race as well. He's on 314 points and he's 14 points back as well. So the top 4 of the championship swapped around once again. Welcome then to the last race of the day. It's round 27 for the Quit Fit British Touring Car Championship here at Silverstone. Josh Cook has lined up on pole position as well from the reverse grid draw we saw a couple of hours ago. Dan Camish lines up alongside him on the front row of the grid. Then it's Adam Morgan, Tom Ingram and Ash Sutton completing out the top 5 as well. This is how the Drivers' Championship looks. We're just talking through it as well. The top 4 in the championship completely swapped around. Ash Sutton leads on 328 points. Jake Hill has 326. Tom Ingram 317. And Turkington up there looking very good as well. The racing is about to get underway as well. Let's have a quick word with Steve Ryder with Paul O'Neill about today.
Score any points of any significance. Okay, he's only 14 points off the championship lead, but it could be a lot worse by the end of the day.
It's going to extend, isn't it? I mean, Colin must be devastated. Just shows how close the championship is, that you cannot afford to have a problem in race 1. He's had a problem in race 1, and now he's on the back foot massively. I mean, if he can come away just about 16, 17 points off the lead, I think that will be damage limitation. That's not going to happen. It's going to be worse. It's not looking good for him.
Yeah. Jake Hill's day so far, win and a second, and he's handled it magnificently, isn't he?
Drive of a champion.
Yeah.
Drive of a champion. Got to say, I know that we've seen him make mistakes when he's in great positions to score points, but it's a bit like Ash Sutton last year, where he was just taking those opportunities, doing the business. And I'm so glad that Jake is there and right up there. And that is, he has been, whatever happens in this race, he has been the driver of the day for me. He's been unbelievable. Yeah,
but it's Ash Sutton who leads the championship without looking wholly convincing today. I mean, he's not in the Thruxton form of last month.
Not at all, no. He's just picking the points up. I honestly, he's just been so under the radar. It's unbelievable for Ash Sutton. But could we be looking at someone here that, I can't remember someone who's jumped from rear-wheel drive a car and winning the championship to front-wheel drive and maybe winning a championship. That would be some feat if he does that, because I still don't think that Ford Focus is the best car out there. So that just shows how good Ash Sutton is.
Yeah. So Jake is back down on row 4, I believe. So a decent result for Jake. I mean, he's now thinking, let's consolidate what we've achieved today, presumably.
This is where he will, I think this has been an iconic weekend for Jake. If he can get a first and a second, which he's done, and then if he finishes in the top 6, that is a stellar weekend. And if he does that, for me, he goes into the championship decider. For me, the favourite, I really do think he will be. Home race for him at Brands Hatch, but let's see what happens here. Anything can happen in race 3.
Yeah. Could Tom Ingram win this one?
Maybe. No, I don't think he can from there. I think the reverse grid's weird because it just looks like a normal grid.
It does a bit.
Josh Cook's on pole. But that just shows you how many good drivers are in the championship. But you get down to maggots and they could be all facing backwards. We don't know, do we? So I think it'll be interesting. But I don't think Tom will want to try to put him in a position where he might get fired off trying to win. If he gets on the podium, I think Tom Ingram will be made up. He'll be over the moon.
There's a little Valentino Rossi boy just outside the studio as well, doing a little dance and a little sing-along as well, which is so lovely to see as well as we get ready. Oh, that says round 26. Should we do some live editing, everybody? A bit like Ted's notebook. Let's change that to round 27 by pressing the button as well for the last race of the day. Okay, well, it's Josh Cook on pole position. Dan Camish is starting in second as well, and they're just now going for a quick break, which is always nice to hear as well. I think also one of my timing screens is not showing the correct things. I've got the results from one of the previous races. Anyway, we'll go through the grid completely as it stands at the current moment as well, because it's always something interesting to talk about as well. Let's talk about the championship protagonists and where they line up then. The championship leader, Ash Sutton, he lines up 5th on the grid. He's on 328 points as things stand. He's 5th on the grid. Then next up, Jake Hill. He's 2nd in the championship. He's 8th on the grid on 326 points, 2 points back. 3rd in the championship is Tom Ingram, 317. He's 11 points back. He starts this race 4th. And then Colin Turkington, we saw in race 2 as well, remember, he tried so desperately to get up into the top 12 positions to try and have a go at having the reverse grid position. Sadly, it never paid off, and he starts this race 13th on the grid. He's on 314 points and 14 points back from the lead of the championship as well. So we've had 2 great races here so far at Silverstone as well. Both of them have featured safety cars as well. The chance of a safety car in the 3rd race of the day is quite high and quite dramatic as well, so do be prepared to have a 25 lap race. 1 safety car race 1, 2 safety cars in race 2. Will we see 3 safety cars in race 3? We have seen, however, as the day has progressed across the support series as well, the safety cars have been becoming more frequent, and the gap between race 2 and race 3, the Formula 4 race as well had 3 safety cars and had to be red flagged in the end as well due to a accident as well. And quickly, I want to send all my regards. I understand there's been a big crash at the British Superbike Championship at Alton Park in their showdown races. I haven't been keeping across of the Superbikes not until later on when I watch it, but so I've got no information, so I hope everybody is okay and makes a speedy recovery as well. It's never nice to hear of an accident out on the track. Anyway, we are about to head down to the pit lane as well and the starting grid because our very own Louise Goodman will be out there as well for ITV. Let's hand first of all though over to the one, the only
It's going to be an absolutely fascinating reverse grid race here at Silverstone. We've got Josh Cook on pole, but the 3 main championship leaders, Tom Ingram, Ash Sutton, Jake Hill, all on the first 5 rows. Colin Turkington battling at the back of the field, towards the back of the field, to achieve anything of significance in this race and at this meeting. Let's get some thoughts from down on the grid and go straight down and join Louise.
Yeah, and I'm going to dive straight in and have a word with our pole sitter, Josh Cook. And Josh, it's been a, well, what, steady day today so far?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good word to describe it. It's, you know, race 1 was a little bit of a struggle. It's hard when you're in mid-pack, you know, racing cars around you when you've got different strengths. So, yeah, kind of a bit of status quo in the first race. Second race, obviously made a really good first couple of laps, and then just managed to stay with Dan Cam to the end. And we've lucked into a reverse grid draw on pole, so we haven't really got a lot to lose, so I think we're going to go all out in this one.
What kind of car have you got underneath you? Have you got a good enough car to keep you out front?
I think we're going to have to see. I mean, we go best, you know, for sure when we're on our own. We're not getting backed up, and we can really utilise our strengths, which are our, you know, corner entry and mid-corner speed. So if I was going to pick anywhere to start, it'd definitely be here.
And this actually could be a big race for you, because I think I'm right in saying you could wrap up the Independent Drivers' Championship in this one, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. You know, obviously we keep an eye on the championship standings, but a little bit, you know, you just got to wait and see what happens. So, you know, first of all, our focus is on trying to win this race, and, you know, if we manage to wrap up that championship today, that would also be really good. And obviously we've got certainly one eye on the Independence Teams Championship as well that we're currently doing well in. So, yeah, it's been a busy day, but I want to end it in style on that top step of the podium.
And the guy you're battling is in the championship is the guy right behind you, Adam Morgan, as well. So he's got to be the one you keep your eyes on, really, isn't he?
Yeah, I know, it's annoying, isn't it? And yeah, at least they're really slow off the line as well. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. It's race 3, British Touring Car Championship, Silverstone. It's always hectic. So first of all, I need to make it through the first lap.
Cool. Have fun out there. We actually quite like hectic, but I think it's probably not quite such a good thing if you are a racing driver. Talking of hectic, this grid, I love the fact this race is so busy, so many people. Even driving in this morning, the campsites were really filled. So it's great to see so many people coming along to support the guys in the British Touring Car Championship. And this guy's certainly got loads of support. Tom. Again, it's me again. Last time out on the grid, I was talking to Ash Sutton about his terrible start. This time, let's talk about your terrible start in the last race. It wasn't one of your finest, was it?
What are you on about?
I think you do.
I don't know what you're on about. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, as you know, Louise. So I've put it all behind me, and I'm going to get a great one this time.
Well, you at least in this race are starting just ahead of the man who you spent pretty much all of the last race trying to get past and failing. I mean, you were just stuck behind Ash, weren't you?
I just spent, 20 minutes staring at his bum. Which, for anyone wondering, it's quite average, to be honest. Not bad, but quite average. Yeah, it was quite a frustrating race. We're going down, just watch your head. It's quite a frustrating race in the sense that we were just playing catch up from the start, really. So it's difficult round here. If you're kind of equally paced, which everyone is, it's just very difficult to make progress. So the start is always crucial. Staying out of trouble for the first lap or so is crucial, and then you just have to settle into the race and try to preserve everything, because it is quite difficult. We're all nicking a bit of curb here, nicking a bit of curb there. So we have to look after everything. We have to try and make it last to the end of the race. But we're also acutely aware that there's lots of other fast people around us. But I'm looking forward to this race. I feel good, I feel relaxed, so let's just go out and enjoy it.
2 fifth-place finishes so far. The championship, I mean, you came into this weekend third in the championship. You're still third in the championship, closed up slightly to the points leader. But you could really do with taking a good chunk of points here, couldn't you?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, this is going to be the race that we try to maximise point scoring and try to outscore the guys around us if we can. So, as I say, I'm not going to try and get too confident about things. Let's just wait and see, because it is difficult around here. It's cooling down slightly, which will throw a little bit of a lifeline towards the front-wheel drive cars. So let's wait and see what happens.
Right, we'll see you later. That's the 2-minute warning going off, but I think I've probably got a minute left to grab a final quick word with Ash Sutton, who's in a similar position. It's been a good day so far, leading the championship by the tiniest amount. But again, you, like Tom, could do with a really good haul of points in this race, just to put some space between you and the other guys in the championship, couldn't you?
Yeah, obviously, as much as I want to beat Tom, I need to worry about what Drake's doing. So obviously I want to go forward. That's always the aim, but we know what race threes can be like. We just need to make sure we don't do anything silly here.
Does that mean you're going to be a little bit more cautious? This new cautious Ash, which we met, a couple of years ago now, but I mean, how's that sitting with you?
You dangle me a carrot, I'll take it. So we'll just leave it with that. But obviously we'll be more on the cautious side. We're in a really good position championship-wise. If we finish where we are now, then we're going to gain points back on Jake. So we don't need to be too desperate.
Somebody get him a carrot now.
Can you remember what you did, and can you do it again?
You had to put that pressure on me, didn't you? If I can get a start like last time, I'll be well happy.
Great stuff. I'll leave it to it. You can get your doors closed, get your head down, and I need to get off this grid, so I will hand over to Tim and to David to talk us through it.
Here we go then. It's time to get set. It's time to get running, and running we shall, because this championship is going down to the last weekend. We know that. The question is, though, who's going to have the advantage of leading the championship into it? This is going to be a fun one. Strap yourselves in. The Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship is ready to go. Tim and David, what do you make of it?
The end of the championship. We look at everyone's championship position and where they are, and those that are trying to make progress. Be interesting to see what Colin Turkington can do in this race. He'll have hybrid available to him on every lap, and can he use it to make real progress and salvage some points? Because at the moment he's on the back foot. Came into this meeting leading the championship, now 14 points behind.
Josh Cook starts on.
Indeed. Let's take a look at how they line up on the grid then. It's row 1 for Josh Cook. Alongside him is Dan Camish. Row 2 is Adam Morgan and Tom Ingram. Row 3 is Ash Sutton and Gordon Shedden. Row 4 is Rory Butcher and Jake Hill. Row 5 of the grid sees Bobby Thompson alongside Aaron Taylor-Smith. And row 6 of the grid as well sees Ollie Jackson alongside Tom Chilton. The 7th row of the grid sees Colin Turkington alongside Stephen Jellin, all BMW row out as well. And row 8 sees Dan Lloyd alongside Aidan Moffat. Row 9 sees Jason Plato and Dan Rowbottom. Row 10 sees Michael Crees and George Gamble. Row 11 is Ash Hand and Jack Butel. And then row 12 is Sam Osborne, Jade Edwards. Row 13 is Powell and Parfit. Row 14, Hamilton and Collard and Hamilton. Row 15 is Dexter Patterson as well. And hopefully as well, I can get this system sorted so that next time out, it should be quite easy for everyone to take a look at how they line up on the grid going forward. The remarkable systems as well that we can get away with now, because it's unfair that I always read out the grid and you lot never get to see the grid. So at least that way you can see the grid as well and memorise it before going forward. Cars are leaving the grid then, as you can hear in your ears. And we're all set then for yet another round of the QuitFit British Touring Car Championship here. Round number 27. Can you believe we've already reached this point of the season? Last race of the penultimate round. Let's have a word on board.
Lovely to talk to you, to see so many fans
Rick
here at
Parfit.
Silverstone. Yeah, I'm just hoping to hopefully get a decent start, pick off a couple and just see how far up I can get. I think we all know the Infinity has reached the end of its life, so we want to give it a decent send-off in these last couple of rounds.
We've been saying all day, Rick, this is a short circuit, 1.6 miles. Is there any chance to relax, or is it work, work, work all the time?
It's definitely work, work, work all the time. You don't get a moment's rest, and it's actually really tricky on the brakes, especially for the rear-wheel drive cars, not to lock up. So that's what happened to me in race 2. So I'm going to focus on just trying to be a little bit more conservative and try and play the long game. I think if I'm kind on my tyres, then maybe I'll be able to nip a few towards the end of the race.
Excellent. We'll leave you to it. Good luck, Rick.
Thumbs up there from Rick Parfit as well. Thumbs up from us all as well. So, it's another 22-lap race. It should take around about 25 to 30 minutes to complete. Let's see if I've got another race in my vocal cords as well after what happened in the first 2 races. Expect drama and just expect everything. This is the hybrid management system as well of what we keep talking about. Of hybrid battery power. Cook has 19, Camish has 18, it's 17 for Morgan, 15 for Ingram, 13 for Sutton, 11 for Shedder, 9 for Butcher, 7 for Hill as well, 20 for Thompson, 21 for Taylor Smith. Everybody else below has maximum voltage attack, and that's going to be incredibly crucial, but we might have an aborted start because one of the Laser Tools Racing has stopped on the way to the back of the grid, and I've got a feeling that's Aidan Moffat as well. It is Aidan Moffat in the 16 who has come to a stop in the Laser Tools Racing. So it looks like we're going to have an aborted start procedure, which, to be fair, I've never seen in the British Touring Cars before, an aborted start. Let's see. Yeah, start delayed. There's the confirmation. Well, this is new territory for me. The start has been delayed here for the QuitFit British Touring Car Championship. Now, I don't know the procedure because this has never happened to me before. I've never seen this in my life. I think we're going to go for a 30-second countdown and then they're going to be sent off on another parade lap. So I think it will be a 21-lap race with this aborted start. I've never seen this before. In 10 years commentating on this series, this is the first time I've ever seen an aborted start procedure. That's insane. So there we go then. Time to wait as Aidan Moffat gets pushed off the track. So Moffat is a non-starter. Where did he start? 16th on the grid. I will cross him off my list. He will not start this race as well. And away we go then on a second warm-up lap. The drivers prefer this actually because it gets to heat the tyres up a little bit more as well. But that's the way it has to be, I'm afraid. Another parade lap due to Moffat's stalling on the grid. So away we go. Again, at least it's only a 1.6404 mile circuit, this one, so it's not as long as tracks like Alton Park and Donington as well. And yes, it will now be a 21 lap race. The official data has told us as well. So there's our drama. We'll probably get that lap back because there's a safety car as well. So that means it's a maximum 24 lap race that can be added onto the total as well. Let's go over to Tim and David.
Rework, shall we say, for this year, and race distance has been reduced to 21 laps. And in fact, you know, I had a long chat with the team, and they feel, in fairness to their drivers, Dexter, Padson, Nathan Moffat, they haven't given them the tools to do the job particularly well this year.
So Aiden doesn't take the start. The race is indeed, as Tim just said, reduced to 21 laps. This formation lap will be completed, then we should be good to go. Credit to Speedworks for getting Ricky Collard's car out on the grid. Ricky was saying to me he'd smelt fuel for about 5 laps, and because he's a gutsy little character, he said to his engineer, no, let's try and get to the finish. And then it let go coming over the line, and it was, as he was walking away, as we'd seen, he remembered. He said, I remember what Dan Camish didn't do at Donington, so I went back to turn the ignition off, leant in the car, inhaled all the fumes, but an irrepressible little soul is Ricky Collard, and he's bounced back, and let's see what he can do from here.
Yeah, absolutely as well. And Ricky Collard as well, taking all those fumes. Rather him than me. I'd just like to point out, I've got a bit of something stuck in my tooth there as well. But the fans are in attendance as well. They're all wanting to see a show. They've been here all day, the British Touring Car fans and race fans as well. It's Silverstone after all. One of the last things of the year we'll see at this legendary circuit until it's time to go into hibernation. And Josh Cook lines up then on pole position alongside the new Silverstone UTC building as Jake Hill lines up. Run down to the grid. Cook, Camish, row 1. Morgan, Ingram, row 2. Sutton, Shedden, row 3. Butcher, Hill, Thompson, Taylor Smith, Jackson, Chilton, Turkington, Jelly, Lloyd, Moffat, Plato, Rowbottom, Crees, Gamble, Hand, Butel, Osborne, Edwards, Powell, Parfit, Collard, Hamilton, and Patterson right at the back. Here we go then, folks. It's time to get ready and rise up the revs. Hi, Josh. Nice to see you again. I would rather have you in the comms box. I'll see you back at Brands and it's Singapore in a week's time. Green flag is at the back. It's the last race of the day, round 27 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. The start procedure is underway. Lights out, race on. Good getaway, actually, from Dan Camish from P2 as well. And Jake Hill's going for a move. Oh, and almost into the side there. What a start from Josh Cook. He blitzes across the track in the front of Morgan and Camish and almost lightnings back across. A immediate regained skill from Cook. Morgan takes second, and Cook almost went into the wall in 2 different dimensions. And this time, Cook's looking at the rears, and Morgan's gone straight on and into the lead of the race. Is that who's going to the lead? I'm pretty sure it's Ingram. It is! It is! Ingram leads! I don't believe it! We need to have the time screens confirm that, but Cook's gone wide as well. And look at Hill. Hill's car's bottoming him out. I'm desperate to see who's in the lead of this race. Contact! And in the middle of the pack as well. Shedden's made contact as well. He's within the back of Jake Hill. The championship protagonist as well is in deep trouble in the middle of the pack. Ingram leads. And that is the 3rd bit of drama in the championship we've had all day. And that's exactly what needed to happen. Ingram leads on 3 places from where he started. It's Sutton into 2nd position. Sutton is 2nd. Brilliant start from the 2 championship protagonists. Sutton started 5th, Ingram started 4th, and drama with the top 3 on the run down towards turn 1 has once again caused all of the chaos we needed to see. As now Camish goes side by side, Morgan goes side by side with Ollie Jackson as well. Morgan goes off the track, Jackson comes back on the inside line. Real drama at the start of the race. Cook comes across to defend. Into the wall goes Camish. Cook dives across, hits Morgan, and then Ingram just slims up the inside and Cobb's corner and beautifully takes the lead. 3-1 doesn't go. And yeah, as Josh said, Cook just cut Camish off completely. Josh just said in the YouTube chat as well. Unbelievable. And it's now Ingram lead and Sutton second. Rory Butcher's up 4 places. Butcher, who won race number 1, is up. And this is the drama further back. Jake Hill gets tagged. Morgan cuts Shedden off. Shedden then is sort of pincered into the side of Jake Hill, and Hill had nowhere to go. So drama already. Jade Edwards gets a little tab, and that was the spin. Powell and Edwards goes round with Rick Parfitt also getting involved. Parfitt got nudged into the back of Jade Edwards. Jade hit the side then as well of Patterson, and they all spin round down there at Brooklands. Wow! And now at the inside as well. There goes Dan Camish trying to make a move. Camish trying to get back ahead of Josh Cook as well. Not going to work out the way he thinks it is. Meantime, further back as well, Jackson's having a go at Morgan. Cook as well is involved in that little shenanigan battle. As we see on board with him now, because he's backing up Camish into the path of Morgan, Jackson, Chilton and Taylor Smith. What an amazing race this is turning out to be as well. Josh says as well, Shedden down 6, Butcher hand up 4. Fast lap for Ingram as well, 57.918 is at the inside. Only Jackson goes on the inside of Morgan as well. They nearly touch. They nearly send Morgan round. They are so far off. And at Cobb's corner, Max Verstappen is giving them a wave in the barrier as they come through into Beckett's hairpin now. Right round the outside, Morgan jumps off Jackson, and that's it done. Morgan loses 1, 2, 3 positions as well. Morgan is chopping everybody off today. That's through now. Shedden's back through on the inside line. Jake Hill was involved in that little scrap as well as Aaron Taylor Smith. This is Sam Osborne in 23rd position. He's involved in this as well. Hill's trying to go around the outside of Ollie Jackson now. He has got ahead of Gordon Shedden. Shedden hits the back of Hill, and Hill's got bodywork damage to the back as well. Hill's in a little bit of a dodgem. They are 2 by 2 for about 8 cars side by side. Unbelievable. Anybody just waiting to make the slightest little mistake. Jake Hill's trying to shut the door. Shedden's got the extreme inside line. Round the outside also comes Aaron Taylor Smith. Bobby Thompson's in there too. Camish slips on the inside of Josh Cook as well. Camish moves up into 4th position, goes too wide. Cook gets the comeback as well on the inside line, trying to sweep back into Beckett side by side. Camish on the outside to Beckett's hairpin. Cook has the inside line, and Cook just about holds it. Camish comes round the outside with full power. The Napa Ford versus a Honda Civic Type R. They're wheel to wheel the exit of the Beckett's hairpin. Down the Wellington straight towards Brooklands as well. Camish should have the inside line in the last of the late braking positions as well to make something on it as well. But Cook could sling it round the outside. Camish holds the inside line, and Camish makes the position. What an opening 5 laps, and the safety car is deployed for a big accident. Oh my goodness me. Huge accident. Morgan's involved, Ash Hand is involved, and there's a 3rd car in there as well. Not too sure. This might be a red flag with all the damage we've got across the track. It's Ricky Collard. Collard in trouble for the 2nd time today. 2nd time for Ash Hand as well. This might be a stoppage because the track is littered with damage as well. And wow. And Morgan's got a damaged rear suspension as well. Camish and Cook side by side through Maggots and Beckett's and down the Wellington straight. This is amazing, says Josh. Morgan's day is done. Front bumper's done. Front right is done. Rear suspension done in as well. And that's Collard out of it. Now, I can't believe they won't stop the race. There's damage everywhere. All the drivers making sure they're okay, because I don't think it's actually their fault. I think this is another absolute carnage for Morgan, who's kept on going. No sign of the red flags at the moment, but the safety car is out. Well, race 3 certainly living up to its dramaticness as well. All drivers are okay, I'm delighted to say. Ricky Collard and Ash Hand, who involved, or Collard had a fire earlier on. Here it is again, they're coming into the Beckett's hairpin. Morgan's going to be on the inside line. I'm trying to see where it is. Okay, so it's Morgan who gets spun round by Jelly and Turkington, and Collard and Hand try to avoid it and have nowhere to go. So it's the 2 BMWs getting together and causing all of the drama. And the safety car is out. And there's an enormous clean-up job to be done down there at Beckett's as well. I can't believe they won't have to stop the race. There's debris all over the track. There's 2 cars stranded. There is an exit point there, so maybe they can cover it under the safety car. But I'll be amazed if they don't have to stop it. But then again, let's restock and take a look at the battle screen, shall we? Get our breaths back and show you what's happening in the race. Ingram leads from Sutton 2nd, Butcher 3rd, Camish 4th, Cook 5th. Chilton is 6th, Jackson 7th, 8th for Hill, Shedden 9th, Taylor Smith rounds out the top 10. Then further down, Thompson 11th, Jelly 12th, Plato 13th, Lloyd 14th, Turkington 15th, Rowbottom 16th, Crees is 17th, Patterson 18th, Osborne 19th, Butel 20th to Tim Harvey.
Cook comes across. There's a bit of contact here, which fires Cookie back across the road into Morgan. And then Camish is a bit slow round turn 1, and Ingram just goes straight through. Hopefully we'll stay with this, and we'll see Ingram take the lead, because coming into Beckett's on lap 1, Morgan locks up, gets into the back of Cook, and Ingram says thank you very much. That was Adam Morgan on those cold front tyres, just having a lock-up.
Right, this is the other incident now.
This is the safety car, right?
Morgan gets a whack in the back, doesn't he, from Stephen Jelly, that puts him into the back of Turkington. So it was Jelly hitting Morgan, Morgan hitting Turkington, and the others, as we keep saying, try to avoid Morgan, make contact with one another. So that helps to piece it together a little bit more.
Yeah, it was collateral damage throughout, and that's the reason the safety car's out as well. Hand and Collard had nowhere to go. They literally just dove out the way in opposite directions, and that's the way the cookie crumbles at some point. So we will get that lap back that we lost earlier on behind the safety car. And that is Gordon Shedden, I believe, driving with a broken wing mirror. Well, it's okay. Oh, no, it's Dan Rowbottom. Rowbottom's driving with a broken mirror as well. It's all right. Racing drivers don't use their mirrors. I think we've known that quite a lot today as well as they come through. So safety car is out then. It's been out now for a lap. So it will at least be a 22-lap race, maybe 23. Maximum they can extend it to is 24. Double yellows are still out at the other half of the circuit as well. But this is the drama that the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship brings us. Side-by-side action, non-stop racing, and then we get drama. And this is the opening lap with Cook getting the whack from Adam Morgan. And this was Cook falling back further and further in the race as well. Dan Camish is alongside him down on the outside line. Jake Hill's there too. Now, Hill had a mistake. What happened to him? Did he get it? He got a whack from Shedden, didn't he? There it is, yeah. Shedden hit to the side of Jake Hill. Shedden going for a drift around as well before getting the car back together. And that was the opening lap drama that almost put Jake Hill out of title contention. And it might have done, actually, because he's down in P8. Ingram and Sutton are 1-2. They are going to take this championship, and they'll be the two protagonists that could lead it going into the next race as well at Brands Hatch. This is the reason on the opening lap once again, Tim.
Going badly. That was the Powell-Edwards drama, all up at Beckett's.
And quite clearly, race 3-itis has hit the field this time. Morgan's had enough,
indeed,
understandably.
Car with its damage in the pit lane. Watching from home, 5 times a Grand Prix winner, former British Touring Car Championship commentator as well, John Watson. What his assessment of this is, it's absolutely nuts.
Yes,
because it's all kicked off.
When they say...
Yeah, well, John Watson as well. Safety car is in this lap, then that's great to see. Josh says, trying to explain track limits to BTCC drivers is like trying to have a conversation with a brick wall. There's a brick wall just behind this commentary box. I would have a better conversation with it than racing drivers about track limits. Don't go over the white line. But they go all so wide. So safety car is in this lap, as you can see. It's going to be Ingram who will lead them away. Right, 9 laps down. 21 is the total. It will be extended, I think, to 24. It has now been. Ingram will lead them away as Sutton will take on these charge once again. Are you ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and it is green, green, green at Silverstone. It's a good restart this time from Ingram as well. He's left Sutton in the wings by 0.5 of a second as they cross the line already. Butcher involved, Camish closing in as well. Josh Cook is directly behind them as well as we enter Cobb's Corner for the 10th time and only the 7th time at racing speed as we head down into Beckett. Further back, Jake Hill's coming under a bit of pressure as well from the inside of Ollie Jackson. Jackson's going to try and take the inside line. Shedden's right there as well to compromise of anything. He taps the back. Shedden locks up. He nerfs Hill through, and Hill's now got big damage. And now Shedden also having to defend from Ollie Jackson, who's lost out 2 positions. So Hill regains 8th position. Shedden goes up to 9th as well. There's all the green flags. They enter underneath the bridge here at the Wellington Straight. Over the crossover as well. Into Brooklands we go. And Jackson nerfs the back of Shedden as well. Hill's getting involved in all sorts of drama. And it's a safety car again for the 28 of Nick Hamilton, who was stopped on the circuit. I thought it had glitched, but it's not. Safety car is out again here at Silverstone, and race 3-itis seems to be getting into everybody at the moment. So It is a safety car once again. The cars will be picked up as well as Nick Hamilton has stopped on the circuit, requiring the use once again of this safety car. Well, it just keeps getting stranger and stranger, this Grand Prix, as they come through. Josh says as well, look at Patterson up to 11th. Some more lockups for Cook into Maggots. Great spots. This is what I like about having Josh in the box, but also he's not here this weekend, and the system isn't set up for when he's now available for race 3. As to come through as well. Exeter Cops, not a good place to be. Yeah, absolutely as well. So, lap 11 of 24. We will exit. Well, now we've had the 3 extra laps, haven't we, added on? So this is now eating into the race time. Because we've had 3 laps already behind the safety car, and it was 22, 23, 24, we've had the 3 extra. So these laps count. Down to Tim.
Yeah, I got caught up in a typical first lap BTCC bundle. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. I'm just going to try and latch onto the back of George and see if he can pull me through a bit. But yeah, it's the usual BTCC fun, but that's why we all love it.
That's true. How frustrating is this second safety car period? You've just got racing and then you've got to back right off again.
It's actually more important that you just got to keep on them and also keep the heat in your tyres. It's so important because you can get caught napping so easily. So, and I really want to try and get a toe off George because he's flying, obviously, in that Beamer. So that's my aim.
We'll leave you to it. Good luck, Rick.
Rick Parfitt live in communication with David Addison and Tim Harvey up in the ITV commentary box. This was Rick Parfitt getting involved in Edwards and Ash Hand's accident. Powell's accident, sorry. Powell comes in, hits the side of Parfitt, and Parfitt hits the side of Jade Edwards as well. Nothing they could have done about that. Down the Wellington Straight once again, then towards Brooklands. And we barely got a lap of running behind that safety car before the safety car came back out again. So this is going to be something new. We're at half distance now of round 27. And how long are we going to be waiting around for all this drama? You do have to start to wonder how much comical can you get. We're going to at least be on lap 13 once again. That seems almost for certain. As looking at the board, we've already got the people who are out, and that's Morgan, Collard, well, Hamilton down. So Hamilton, Morgan, Collard, Hand, Moffat are all out of the race as well. Josh says also Janetta leaves the Turco package for next year onwards, going to British GT. The return of Clio Cup. I think the Clio Cup will come back, but I'm not sure what's on the support package next year for touring cars. Probably a commentator race, and then everybody goes down there and has a little bit of a wheeze. Here's Tingram watching in. We can't hear from him because he's not our driver selected today. It's Rick Parfitt who's the driver selected. So there is Tom Ingram leading this race, and plus I don't think he wants to talk anyway. Safety car is in this lap. Right, here we go again then. We've had 2 safety cars, and now it's eaten into the race distance a little bit, so there'll be no extension to the race. So it's a straight run to the end now. We've already had 3 extra laps added on. No more can be added to the race distance. We're not fueled for it. Ingram warming up his tyres, coming into Brooklands as well. Round the outside, come on, bring the power, Ingram. Green flag is back out, 24 laps is the distance. We'll start lap 14, 11 laps to go. Green flag racing again here at Silverstone. Ingram leads, Sutton second, Butcher third. Sutton has the fastest lap of this race, by the way, 57.794, and he's all over the back of Ingram, but it's too far back to make a move in towards turn 1 at Cobb's Corner. They breeze down towards Maggots and Beckett, and everyone sensibly is having a better strategy in this restart as well. Where's Rick Parfitt? We heard he was going to try and get a toe off George Gamble. There's Gamble, there's Parfitt, and he has got a toe, but he can't get ahead of him just yet. So maybe down the Wellington Straight will be an opportunity to find the advantage as well. As further back as well, that is the other Hyundai going side by side. That's Tom Chilton on the inside with Jake Hill trying to go right around the outside. Chilton goes 2 wheels. Wow! Hill holds it around the outside, and Hill takes 6th position away from Chilton with a superb move around the outside of Brooklands as well. Going 2 wheels, Tom, as well. They're taking TT to hold you meaning, isn't he? Look at this, jumps the curb at Brooklands over the sausage and literally 2 wheels it, and another tremendous little move. Hill keeping ahead there. That 15 to 24. And now this is Cook under pressure from Jake Hill. Big lock-up from Cook coming into Beckett's hairpin as well on the loop back around to the Wellington Straight. And Hybrid is now being deployed as well for the 66 to Josh Cook as well. Jake Hill is having the attack into the braking zone for Brooklands. Hill's too far back to make a move, and Cook can't seem to find one either, as Cook is actually out of hybrid power for this lap, so he's going to struggle a lot to defend from Hill coming out of Luffield in towards Woodcote, and he has done. Hill's on maximum attack and hybrid power as well. Cook can do absolutely nothing about it. Hill breezes through with the additional hybrid energy boost he's received, so Jake Hill tactically using it and back into title contention with moving up into 5th position after a terrible start. So it's not all over yet then for Jake Hill. There's plenty of room left, but Ingram and Sutton, the 2 championship protagonists, Sutton 328 points, Ingram on 317. There's 11 points between them. This will close things up nicely going into it. And where is Colin Turkington, you ask? He is 15th, scoring a maximum of 1 point. Is he the driver who could be eliminated from the championship protagonists here that we were fearing might happen? Well, if he does go, it'll mean that it'll be, once again, Sutton going in as a reigning champion as well. Jake Hill and Tom Ingram trying to go for their first. Tom Ingram has never had a British Touring Car Championship. He's come close on 2 previous occasions. Can he get one this year? But I'll tell you what, Brands Hatch in 2 weeks' time is going to be an absolute cracker. Hill now takes the fastest lap of the race away from Ash Sutton. Hill does a 57.582 and gets the lap. Turkington is stuck. He's now past Plato, but he's stuck behind Dan Lloyd, exactly the same as what it was in race 2. He's now stuck behind him and can't find a way through on the inside line into the braking zone. Well, Stephen Jelly's just ahead of him, so maybe Jelly should back Lloyd up and give Turkington the advantage. I think that's what he's trying to do. Turkington's going to go side by side with Dan Lloyd. He couldn't manage to pass him last time out. Can he manage to pass him this time out as well? We're looking. The TV directors aren't focusing on that. They're focusing on Cook defending from Chilton. The real question is, did Turkington pass? No, he didn't. Turkington did not pass on that back straightaway. The timing tower hasn't updated to that. As now Dan Camish is under pressure from Jake Hill for 4th position. Hill, even though he's got a bit of a broken bodywork at the back bumper, is going absolutely like a bat out of hell. And that Rocket Venturi, that Rocket BMW as well, the M Sport Series car, really is proving to be a rocket. Winner of race 2, Jake Hill, desperately now trying to have a go here for a race 3 podium position. He's got a good run on the inside of Dan Camish coming out of the Beckett's hairpin down the Wellington Straight, both of them on hybrid power, but that BMW has got such a grunt down the straight that it's going to pull around the outside line and takes the position. Great move around the outside for Jake Hill on Dan Camish. A superb move. And Team Gruber says no clear return. Most in paddock expecting a junior series to jump in. I don't know which junior series will be. I haven't been in the paddock this weekend as well, obviously, the touring cars. So I want to know who it is. Josh says Josh Cook using hybrid down the Wellington Straight to defend from Hill, but it doesn't work as though Woodcote Hill up to 5th. Yeah, 57.582 fast lap for Hill. And Jelly drops down 2 places. Oh, interesting. So Jelly dropped down to 14th place. Turkington's moved up to 12th. Great spot there, Josh. Thanks for that. Miss you in the comments box. Get back for Brands Hatch Grand Prix in 3 weeks' time. Or is it 2 weeks' time? Whichever one it is. weekend of the Japanese Grand Prix, I suppose, so maybe it's 2 weeks. Oh, and that's a little bit of a tap there. Aaron Taylor-Smith into the Beckett hairpin, nudging the back of Ollie Jackson. As they stand, Ash Sutton will have a 5-point advantage over Jake Hill in the standings and a 7 points to Tom Ingram. So the gap between the top 3 drops. Turkington will be 27 points out as it stands. So Turkington came in here as the championship leader, a spin in race 1, no finish as well, no points race 2, only a point or a couple of points in race 3, means that it's now a 3-way fight for the title with an outside shot from Colin Turkington. Brands Hatch race 1 is going to be fantastic. Race 2 in Brands usually defines who's going to be the champion, and race 3 usually crowns the champion. Either way, we're in for an absolute classic decider of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship next time out. Meantime, here on lap 20-24, Hill, who is number 24, is closing in on Butcher for 3rd position. Listen to the car sing down the back straightaway of the Wellington. Ingram's now pulled out a 1.2 second lead to Sutton. Butcher's closing in as well. And further back, that's Turkington trying to make a move. Cook locks up on the inside line as well, trying to defend from Tom Chilton. Hearing the onboard of Cook now as we ride on board with him. Chilton's closing in just behind, so they are finding positions. Josh says there's a 9-car train down the Wellington Straight. Patterson is up 12 places. He's in 17th position as Hill confirmed to pass Camish, and now Butcher is right on the back of Ash Sutton as well. Oh, Turkington! Turkington is up to 11th. He's passed Bobby Thompson. So Colin Turkington makes his way up the field now as well. Sutton's bouncing over the curbs. Butcher, slowly catchy as he's coming down the Wellington Straight now as well. Can Butcher look for a way through? They have both still got hybrid power left as well, so there's nothing going to be remotely different about them as well. So it's really just keep your fingers crossed and see what's going to happen next, really. In we go once again, sling the cars around Luffield. It's lap 21, about to start lap 22 of 24, 3 to go here at Silverstone. Cook is holding back Chilton, and Shedden's closing in there too. Josh says as well, all lockoffs from Josh Cook this race has been practically all day as well. Butcher versus Sutton down to Brooklyn's possibility. Great shout there, Josh, and not this time, but maybe next time, maybe that's where he's going to do it. And Lloyd is 12th, Jelly 13th, Thompson 14th, Plato 15th, Patterson down to 16th position, Butel up to 19th, Crees is down into 20th position, Ollie Jackson. Oh, and a lock-up from Josh Cook as well. Chilton's going to try and force his way through on the inside line as well. This is the battle for 6th position between Cook, Chilton and Shedden. And Cook has hybrid power, so does Chilton, so does Shedden. Chilton looks out on the outside line, tries to cut back coming in towards Brooklands. Cook shuts the door. Chilton's going to tailgate him round as well. And Shedden now going to try and go around the outside line, trying to get the cut back on the inside line. And he's going to go for it. Flash sends it up the inside and nudges Chilton out the way. We've said that one too many times in the past. Shedden versus Chilton are side by side, coming out of Woodcut. Cross the line we go. That's 23-24, by the way. And has Shedden got the inside line coming into Cobb's corner to make the move on Chilton? He has! Yeehaw! Well done, Flash Gordon. But he's got a bit too wide. Chilton uses the hybrid power to get back alongside him. They're side by side coming through Maggett and Beckett. Chilton's on the outside line, but he's got the inside coming into Beckett's hairpin. Lock-up says coming from Josh Cook once again. And Chilton retakes it and shuts the door. But here comes Shedden. Chilton goes wide. Shedden gets the cutback. They're side by side, nearly door mirror to door mirror as they head down the Wellington Straight. Chilton will have the inside line. On the outside will be Shedden. And they're nudging each other even down the straight as well. Into the braking zone we go. And it's side by side. Shedden's not backing out. Chilton's not either. Shedden makes an oversteer. And Chilton goes through. Brilliant move. So Chilton to 7th. Shedden down to 8th. Cook still in 6th. It's lap 24. Last lap the call. And Tom Ingram is going to be the winner if he can keep it through as well and get himself into the title protagonist. Ingram came in this weekend as the outside chance to win the title. He's going to leave here 7 points off, unless he locks up on that front brake as well, which he nearly did as well. Blimey, Ingram nearly had a moment there as our timing screen glitches. That was a big moment from Ingram coming in for a braking zone as well. Shedden is out. Shedden is out of hybrid power for the rest of the race. He's done it. But this has been a brilliant weekend at Silverstone. It is a championship challenger, changed everything around. Turkington came here as the championship leader. He was 26 points clear of Ingram. Now it's all changed. It's Sutton the championship leader. Hill is 4 points back, and 7 points back is Ingram. It goes down to Brands Hatch because Tom Ingram wins at Silverstone, and it goes to Brands. Wow! Second for Sutton. He extends the championship lead by 1 point. Wow! Butcher is third, Hill fourth with the fastest lap. That might make it a single points difference, I'm not entirely sure. Camish fifth, Cook sixth, Chilton seventh, Shedden eighth, Jackson ninth, Taylor Smith 10th, Lloyd 11th, Turkington 12th, Jelly 13th, 14th Thompson and 15th Plato. Take a breath. Wow, there was no checkered flag, you're right, Josh said there's no checkered flag there. Take a breath. Silverstone, once again, has been electric. The title fight goes down to the last weekend of the year. Hopefully you can hear me now as we take a look at the driver protagonist. This is how the Drivers' Championship looks then. Coming into the next couple of races, Ash Sutton now leads the championship by 5 points to Jake Hill. 7 points back is Tom Ingram as well. 27 points back is Colin Turkington. That's how dramatic it looks in the championship. Ash Sutton leads this title by so many points. 5. What? Where did this come from? What a season. Ash Sutton number 1 on the board there. I think we can all agree there as well. I thought that'd be I can hear you now. Yeah, I thought that'd be a really cool way that we can actually see the results and I can talk over them. Not understanding that the microphone wasn't actually switched on that OBS stream. So apologies for that, but at least you got to see the results in full. And then I'll talk over the Drivers' Championship. That's all I wanted anyway, because I can do the others perfectly well. But we're just trying out new systems for 2023 as well to make sure it's all okay. Anyway, they've gone to an ad break, so take a breath, get ourselves back in, and sort of just accept what we just saw. Let's take a look then. Who set the fastest lap of the race then? Jake Hill, a 57.582. That was the order on the board as well as they come in. Now, looking further back as well, Powell officially retired, so did Hamilton. Morgan as well, Collard, Hand and Moffat. So 6 retirements from the race as well. Josh says 5. That's more than Max Verstappen. An amazing, incredible points gap. An unattainable points gap. Yeah, it's certainly how it feels coming into today. 5 points. Although after today, he came in so far back. I can't believe that is the championship we've had. This honest to God, has been such an insane day. in the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. I don't know what is next. We've got Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit to end the season as well. Josh will be back with us. Nick Homewood will be back with us. All races are going to be live as well to round out the season like they were here at Silverstone. And I cannot wait for what is going to be, I think, an all-time classic touring car finale. Honestly, 4 drivers going to the last day with a shot of being champions. So many close titles between them. And I think if Josh gets the mathematics out, I don't think there is a way the championship can be won until the last race of the year for British touring cars. So round 30 it will go down to, because the gap of the points are so big. I don't think there's a way. And right now for the trip home, see you for Brands in Singapore for F1. Josh T's out. See you later, Josh. No worries. As well, and yeah, that is literally going to be situation over and sort of night over. We'll stay for a word from the top 3. We now know the classifications and the way the Drivers' Championship stands as well, which means we'll hear from the top 3, and then we will sign off from an incredible day at Silverstone as well. From 11,000 viewers this morning for a MotoGP Japanese Grand Prix, an early morning race as well, which was crucial to the World Championship, to 3 incredible British Touring Car Championship races, which have completely changed the complexion of the championship as well. This has been a weekend that nobody expected as well, and it has come at the right time. Formula One next weekend could wrap up the Drivers' Championship as well for Max Verstappen if he wins and Leclerc scores no points, the same as Russell. So, and Perez as well. So it's easily done, but it's easier than better. Singapore's an unlikely circuit to win a championship at. Not even Vettel could manage it in 2011. He had to do it in Japan the following week, and we will be in Japan the following week as well. So we're getting to the business end of the season now. Only a couple of things left, and the touring cars are about to join IndyCar, Formula E and Formula 3 in a season retirement as well. Then we'll only have Formula 2, Formula 1 and MotoGP left to cover here on the YouTube channel. But I'd just like to point out as well, we will be having special shows over the winter as well. Formula E will be back. Then we'll be back with all days of pre-season testing as well across everything. So there is no worry whatsoever. We've 100% got you covered for motorsport in 2023 as well. Long ad break here on ITV as we wait to hear from the top 3. It was the last race of the day, and they have held everything up, as you can see. I want to take a look actually at the stats, but I'm not sure if I can because of the driver tracker. I need to work out a way to do that because I want to see the stats as well for how... Oh, here we go. Someone's giving them to me. Oh, great. On the laptop as well. They've brought it up on the screen. So in terms of leaders, Ingram led every single lap from lap 1 to 24, 39.37 miles that Hyundai i30N covered. We spent 16 minutes under green flag conditions for 17 laps. We spent 10 minutes and 7 seconds and 7 laps behind the safety car under 2 different periods. 29 competitors actually happened. We were delayed 12 minutes as the race started at 5:22. Finish time was at 5:49. In total, all competitors did 594 laps. We only did 24 officially, of course. That's all them added together. Total distance covered was 974. And track length is a 1.6 mile circuit. Okay, let's hand over then to the one and only Steve Ryder as well to get his last thoughts on the day, and then we'll wrap up as well and then go off air. Down to you, Steve Ryder.
What a day at Silverstone, what a turnaround in the championship battle. We started the day with Colin Turkington at the head of affairs. He's 27 points off Ash Sutton's lead. Ash Sutton, the new championship leader. Jake Hill, 5 points adrift of him after a stunning performance today. Tom Ingram, our third race winner, 7 points, right in touch and promising a fantastic climax at Brands Hatch in 2 weeks' time. Louis is down in pit lane getting all the reaction.
Yeah, I am, and I was chatting with Tom before the race. You said you wanted a pot. You've got the best pot there is.
Absolutely, yeah. I said we were going to go pot hunting in the last one. We really, really needed a good result to bring us back into, because, you know, those first 2 races were good and they were pointsy, but not quite pointsy enough. So we knew we needed to get back in because obviously Ash was fast, Jake's been fast all weekend. So it was a really important one to get that one in the last race.
Must have been a nice moment when that Moses moment when the sort of water's parted in front of you and there's the lead.
Ash and I were just chatting then. We said we couldn't have asked for it to go any better. It was exactly like Moses. The sea parted and oh no, surely this isn't working out for me. So we needed a bit of luck because I think we maybe been sometimes on the other side of it. So we needed a bit of luck to be able to get that move happen, to happen. But I'm super, super pleased to get it done because, as I say, it is absolutely on. The three of us, 7 points in it. I'm not going to sleep between now and Brands. Let's get going.
Well, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. But let's bring in Ash, the man who is at the lead of that. But it's 7 points between the top three in the championship. That is so narrow.
It's like it's been scripted all year, hasn't it? Let's be honest. It's it couldn't be any tighter. You've got a great combination of two front-wheel drive cars and a rear-wheel drive car. Yeah, Brands, our home circuit for the team. This is our weakest circuit and we've had a mega weekend, so I'm looking forward to Brands.
So you're going there on a real high.
Yeah, we're in a really good place with the car. This second half of the season, I've felt at one with it. We've been able to tweak it, dial it in, get it right, chip away at it, and it got us in the championship lead. I couldn't have asked any more going into the final round.
Well done. Well, so two new drivers on the podium here, but let's bring in the man who's been on the podium all day long. What a great day you've had.
It's been a fantastic day. I think double victory last year. I'll take 3 podiums today. That's made up for it. And yeah, I've had some really good racing today. Me and Jake had a great drive together in the first 2 races, and then tucked up behind Ash. Just didn't have the legs on Ash to really mount up pressure, and also, the guy's fighting for a championship, and so is Tom. So you got to take that into account. But yeah, they drove brilliantly. Car's been amazing today. I think we improved it there. Suffered a little bit in the final sector earlier today, but we definitely found a little bit of performance there, so it was good.
Well done. I'm loving that smile on your face. And let's just swing the camera around quickly, because I think the man of the moment, the win was brilliant, but that kind of is the icing on the cake, isn't it?
That was probably the hardest race of my season. Yeah, I thought it was all over at Brooklands lap 1. I think Shedden, I don't know if he got hit or whatever, but my God, did he door me hard and, nearly turn me around. And then the whole race was just so messy, but once we got clear, got into a rhythm, got after Jackson, Chilton, Camish, tried to get Rory in the end, but I was so fired up at that point. I was angry, Jake, and I was just, nothing was going to stop me. I was on the way to the front.
Well, you are on your way to Brands Hatch in with a hunt for the championship, so we will see you there. Boy, that's going to be a race and a half. Steve, back to you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much as well to Steve Ryder, Paul O'Neill, David Addison, Tim Harvey, and of course Louise Goodman and Steve Ryder throughout today. Okay, that about wraps it up. We've still got, that's Paul O'Neill on the side of the camera. Hang on a second, let's switch it off. There we go. Okay, that about wraps us up as well here for the British Touring Car Championship from Silverstone. From the day that started for me at 3 a.m, it is now just gone 6 o'clock. So a nice round figure of around about, 15 hours of broadcasting as well. It's time for me to hang up the microphone for the evening. Let's give you the coverage details though. For next week, we are racing at Formula One's first ever night race as well. We're back on the calendar with it, with the Singapore Grand Prix for the first time since 2019 as well. Live coverage of practice 1 and 2 on the Friday. Saturday sees us take practice 3 and qualifying. Sunday will have us with the main race as well. Early in the morning, 9 o'clock as well. Lights out, so we're on here 8:15 for the MotoGP Grand Prix of Thailand. And then, of course, we'll be back as well for all the action from W Series back. That's at 9:45. Megan Birch taking you through that on Sunday morning. British Touring Cars wrap up the championship, though. We'll be on as well in 2 weeks' time to wrap up. 4 men in the hunt for the British Touring Car title as well. Colin Turkington came here today as the championship leader. He leaves 27 points back after 3 races. The top 3 now, Sutton, Hill and Ingram, separated by 7 points. 2 weeks until Brands, and then it's all over for another year. How come every single time the Touring Cars finishes, it always goes down to the last weekend at Brands Hatch? Can't wait. 2 weeks' time, the season finale. Bye for now.